Hello there, welcome to Talk Tax. I'm your host, Nikisha Costello. Many taxpayers often ask the GRA, what is meal allowance? Some of you probably never heard about this allowance. That's common because many persons are surprised to learn that this is a taxable allowance. Meal costs are considered to be of a private or domestic nature, since these are a normal part of living. Thus, if an employer pays employees a meal allowance for them to buy their lunch in the course of the normal working day, the allowance is generally considered taxable to the employee. For example, if your normal working hours is between 8 hours to 1600 hours, and your employer or supervisor asks you to work during your lunch period and pays for your lunch, guess what? That allowance will be taxed.
Are we going to be working through lunch? Get out. What?
Generally, meal allowances are provided to employees who carry out work during the hours designated for lunch or recess. However, if you are working for a short period away from your base and as a consequence have to incur expenditure for lodging and meals, you can be given a subsistence allowance once you are an employee in the public sector. Do you think this subsistence allowance is taxable? I know you're probably thinking, yeah, GRA likes to tax people. Well, if you were thinking that way, guess what? You're wrong. The subsistence allowance is a tax-free allowance. Stay tuned to learn more after the break.
The government is moving to enhance control of tobacco and imported alcohol sold and distributed in Guyana through the introduction of high-security excise stamps. Excise stamps aid in enhancing revenue for the country and curtailing the illicit trade of imported alcohol and tobacco. GRA, your partner in development.
Thanks for staying with us. As I was saying before the break, subsistence allowance is an expense allowance payable to public servants who are required to work for short periods away from their base and will have to incur expenses for lodging and meals. For example, if you are relocated to work in the interior for a short period, let's say a week or so, you will need a place to stay, and as humans, it is recommended that we eat at least 3 times per day, right? That is an expense incurred by the employee. Employees can then claim for subsistence and income tax will not be imposed on sums paid for lodging and meals. Of course, some kind of proof must be provided, such as receipts or invoices. However, as it relates to private sector employees, consideration may be given to treat subsistence or meal allowance as non-taxable. Don't celebrate just yet. The allowance can only be non-taxable once it was used for its intended purpose and satisfies the Commissioner General. If you often find yourself in situations where you are asked to work during your lunch period or sent on assignments which require you to work away from your base, it is in your best interest to familiarize yourself with the Income Tax Act of Guyana, Chapter 8101. As an employer, you too should get acquainted with this act, since you will be required to remit the tax to the GRA. Additionally, under this act, all allowances are subject to income tax, with the exception of leave passage, traveling, entertainment, station and subsistence allowances, medical discharge, and dental expenses, once it is proven to the satisfaction of the Commissioner General that these allowances were used for the intended purposes. For more information, contact us via social media or send us an email to grapublicrelations@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.